man is breathtakingly evil. Mankind is radically degenerate. Mankind is staggeringly depraved. Such nice things to say about you this morning, isn't it? Here's the amazing thing. In fact, that you and I are all of these things, God is supersedingly compassionate, unbelievably patient, incredibly steadfast in the face of our absolute degeneracy before his holy character. And the promised plan of God is that in spite of everything that goes on, the Old Testament is one mess of mankind after the next mess of mankind, and God's faithfulness all the way through that, despite their unfaithfulness to bring about a Messiah. Long ago and at many times and in many ways, God spoke to our fathers by the prophets, but in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed the heir of all things, through whom he also created the world. In the time past, God spoke through prophets, events, circumstances, but now he has spoken through his most choice emissary, through his Son. And in chapter 1, we see a grand Christological unpacking of who Christ is, both in his person and in his office and in his work, that Jesus is nothing less than God, very God, and that he is greater than any angel, any heavenly being. He is greater than any earthly being. He is without equal. Chapter 2, therefore, if this is Christ, don't you drift from him. If this is Christ, don't you drift from him. Don't neglect such a great Savior and salvation. The world has been subjected to Jesus. He is worthy because he suffered death, tasting death for you and for me to destroy the power of death. He is a worthy high priest, making satisfaction for sin to help the weak, you and me. If this is who Jesus is and this is what he has accomplished, don't you drift from him and don't you neglect him. And by the way, to drift, all you have to do is do nothing. You need to think of culture and life like a river flowing away from Christ. All of your natural affections, all of your being flows from Christ, not to Christ. And if you just sit and do nothing, the current of this world and your very flesh will carry you from Christ. Part of the Christian journey is swimming upstream. It's swimming against the current. It's swimming and fighting for Jesus in our life. If you just passively go through the Christian life, you will drift from it.